Okay, let's look at the homework 7.4, 7.5, problem number 8. Right, so we have this function of two variables, and we want to find all four second partials. Right, so let's do that. Alright, so since these are pretty similar, so I'll do, let's see, I think I did the first two in class. I'm going to do the last two, right? So say I'm going to just take that out, and let's do this guy, right? Alright, but in order to find out, we have to find the partial with respect to x first. So let's do that. So first, I'm going to rewrite this guy as, right, I don't like square root. So 64 minus x squared minus y squared raised to the 1/2 power, because square root is equivalent to 1/2 power. Alright, then let's take the partial. Alright, so let's take the partial derivative maybe here. So partial derivative of this function z with respect to y. Alright, so this is going to be, right, so general power rule, so it's 1/2 is in front. Keep the same quantity, which is 64 minus x squared minus y squared. Then subtract 1 from the power, so it's negative 1/2 power. Multiply by derivative of inside. So in this case, derivative of 64 is 0. And negative x squared is 0 because with respect to y, so it's going to be negative 2y. Right? Then if you clean it up, so there's 2 on top and the 2 on the bottom cancel out. Then we can probably write it as this is going to be, there's a negative sign here, so I put the negative sign in front, and y sits on top. Right, and this guy is going to sit on the bottom because it's a negative power. So you have quantity 64 minus x squared minus y squared raised to the 1/2 power. Right, so this is the first partial with respect to y. Right, so let's take the partial derivative with respect to x now. Right, so there's a negative sign, so I put that in front. Right, so I'm going to use a quotient rule on this guy. So square the bottom, which is going to be just a 64 minus x squared minus y squared. Right, then there's a negative sign there, so derivative of the top is going to be actually 0 because we're taking the derivative with respect to x, right? So it's actually 0 here, times the bottom is 0, so I'm going to just write it out, 64 minus x squared minus y squared, minus, so before I forget, I'm going to just strike that out because 0 times anything is 0. Right, then top is y, so you have a y, times derivative of the bottom. So this one gets kind of long, so I'm going to extend this. Right, so it's going to be, put 1/2 in front, keep the same quantity, so 64 minus x squared minus y squared, and subtract 1 from the power, negative 1/2, then multiply by derivative of this guy with respect to x, which is going to be negative 2x. Right, so we have that. So we have to do a little bit of cleaning here. So you have so 2 on top and the 2 on the bottom cancel out. And another thing I don't like about this is that you have this negative power sitting here. Right, so I'm going to multiply top and bottom by this guy right here with the positive sign. So you have a quantity 64 minus x squared minus y squared to the 1/2 power. and I do the same thing to the denominator so that I don't change the quantity, right? The reason why I wanted to do that is that here, once you can do that, so these are reciprocal of each other, so you can cancel this ugly guy with that guy right there, right? Then we can easily combine those two guys, so let's go ahead and do that. Oh, and also there's a negative sign here and there's a negative sign there, so you can get rid of that too, right? So this is going to simplify to there's a negative sign. All right, on the bottom you have a quantity 64 minus x squared minus y squared, right? Then combine that, so it's a 1 plus 1/2 is 3 halves, right? Then what's left on top? You can see that there's let's see, so those guys are gone, so you just have a y here and the x here, and it looks like that's all we have, so you have xy. Alright, so this is the partial derivative with respect to y first, and the partial derivative with respect to x. Alright, so let's do the second partial with respect to y. Alright, so I'm going to just move down this guy a little bit. Alright, so this is the first partial with respect to y, so we just have to take the derivative again. Right, so let's do that. So negative sign is sitting here, right? Quotient rule, and square the bottom, so you're going to get 64 minus x squared minus y squared, right? Then derivative of y is going to be 1, right, times the bottom, which is going to be 64 minus x squared minus y squared to the 1/2 power, right? Quotient rule, so it's minus, top is y, times derivative of the bottom, so it's going to be 1/2 quantity 64 minus x squared minus y squared, and subtract 1 from the power, so it's going to be negative 1/2 power, multiply by chain rule, derivative inside with respect to y, so it's going to be negative 2y. Alright, then we're going to do a little bit of cleaning again. Alright, so you have negative sign here, and that'll turn into a positive sign, and there's a 2 here and 2 there on top, cancel out. Alright, then we're going to do the same trick as before. We're going to multiply top and bottom by quantity 64 minus x squared minus y squared to the 1/2 power, and the same thing to the denominator, 64 minus x squared minus y squared to the 1/2 power, right? Then you can distribute that to get this, right? So negative sign here. Right, so this guy times that guy, so it's basically square root times square root, so it's going to be just a 64 minus x squared minus y squared, right? And these guys cancel out, so here this guy cancel out with that guy, so that's gone. So what's left is going to be, let's see, this is going to be y here, and there's another y there, so that's y squared, so this is going to be plus y squared, right? Then I don't think we need that much line here. All right, so combine these two, so you're going to get 64 minus x squared minus y squared, and 1 and 1/2, so it's a 3/2. Right, so you have that. Then you can even cancel negative y squared and a positive y squared. So, and I'm going to incorporate the negative sign there, so we can write it as, right, so negative x squared, so it's x squared minus 64, and then denominator is 64 minus x squared minus y squared raised to the 3/2 power. Right, so that's that. So let's type these guys in. Alright, so the mixed partial we got here was negative y over quantity raise it to the quantity raise it to the 3/2 power, and then you have 64 minus x squared minus y squared. Right, and the second partial with respect to y, we found that to be x squared. Actually, maybe I'll do a fraction. Right, x squared minus 64 x squared minus 64, then you have a quantity raised to the 3/2 power. You have 64 minus x squared minus y squared. Right, sorry, I can't see it. Right, so that's not it. Right, so here, let's see, 2 minus x minus y squared. Right, let's try to see if we can get rid of that. Right, 2. Right, so that's what we got, and let's see, let's check submit for testing. Alright, actually it came back and I got it wrong. I didn't type in the right thing. This was xy right there, so it's xy, and let's check again. Sorry about that. Alright, it came back. Yes, we got both of these guys correctly, and the first two are very similar, so I'll let you guys finish that. Alright, that's it. I hope that this was clear.